there was a sorceress. She could cure any illness. She could heal any pain. Many people came to the sorceress seeking her help. And one day, a hero arrived. A hero in pain. The hero, she said, I don't know where it comes from. The hero, she said, all I know is it hurts everywhere, above, below, in between. The sorceress brought the hero into the sauna, heated the sauna, surrounded by the smoke. The sorceress looked at the hero and said, if I am to cure this illness, if I am to take away your pain, then first I must trace its origin. Then first I must tell you a story. Once, there was a young woman, and in her hand she held a comb. And the young woman, she combed her hair for a long, long time, until the comb broke. One piece fell down onto the ground, and it took root.
And it started to grow. There came some leaves, some more. It grew bigger and bigger, and it started to grow in middle of that village. It grew higher than any of the buildings. It became the most beautiful tree in that village. People actually came around the tree. They put hand in hand, they went around, and they did some folk dance around the tree. Somebody went there with a knife and carved her heart and 2 letters in the trunk of the tree. Tree, it kept growing. Growing, growing, growing. It was reaching to the sky. And it was growing so big that finally it reached the moon. It was covering all the sky. And the whole country, it was completely dark. Nothing was growing. Nothing.
And the people, they gathered around the tree in this dark land. And they wondered, who would be strong enough to cut this tree down?
At the same moment, from the sea, there rose a man. He wasn't small. He wasn't so big. He was about the size of my thumb. He came. He had an iron helmet, iron gloves, iron boots. He came and he had a sledge behind him. On that sledge, he had axe, old handle, shiny new iron. He came next to the tree. He hit his feet down under the ground. He took an axe and he hit the tree.
And he split it in 2. One half crashed down into the east, the other down into the west. But one small splinter flew right up into the air.
A man was looking at it.
And he tried to catch it.
But he couldn't get it.
So it disappeared into the waves of the sea.
Man was looking at it and he thought, that might become something evil.
Just at that moment, in the sea, in the waves, someone was out for a swim. A dog. A dog whose fur was made of iron. A dog whose eyes were made of burning embers. The iron-furred dog saw the splinter, took it in between its teeth, swam back home to its master, and the master of the dog was a man with a broad-brimmed hat. The master of the dog was a man whose face was always covered in darkness. The master of the dog took the splinter, dipped it into a bowl full of snake blood, and then he caught a bird, and he took all the feathers while the wretched thing was still alive, and from those feathers, from that splinter, he made 3 arrows, gave them to his sons.
Ja pahalla oli totta kai 3 poikaa. Yksi niistä oli rujo, yksi niistä oli rampa ja yksi niistä oli sokea. Noin 3 veljestä, ne otti ne 3 nuolta, ne otti jousipyssyn ja Rampa. Se ottaa sen käsille ja Rujo nostaa sen ylös. Rampa ja Rujo venyttää yhdessä sitä jousta ja se sokea, se tähtäs. Ja ensimmäinen nuoli, se lentää taivaalle.
And the first arrow flew straight down into the ground with such force that the earth nearly split. That arrow will never come back, nor will it be missed by anyone.
Toinen nuoli, se lähti ja se lensi taivaalle ja se osui taivaan kannattimiin. Sillä tavalla, että tähdet melkein tippuu alas. Sinne se nuoli jäi, eikä sitä kukaan kaipaa.
Now the third arrow flew straight for a mountain, but not any mountain. A mountain made of copper, a mountain made of steel. The arrow bounced off the mountain and flew aimlessly through the air until it happened to hit this very hero. And this arrow has pierced into the flesh, into the marrow. This arrow must come back. The sorceress had traced the origin of the pain. So now she opened her mouth and she spoke powerful words, ancient words. She called for someone to pull the arrow out. And it wasn't long before the floor of the sauna started to shake. The ground was rumbling and trembling, and from the forest, across the fields, came running an ox. An ox that you could describe in many ways, but never, ever as being small. When you saw its tail in the most southern part of the land, well, then others would see its head in the far north. The ox came running into the sauna, 100 horns, 1,000 horns upon its head, and it dug deep into the wound of the hero, tried to pull the arrow out.
Se ei saanut sitä sieltä pois. Niinpä tietäjä alkoi laulaa uudestaan ja lauloja. Kun ne oli laulanut jonkun aikaa, niin alkoi kuulua saunan ikkunoista jotain. Ulkoa kuului jotain kovaa ääntä. Sä katsoit siitä ikkunasta, sä näit aivan törkeen ison linnun siellä taivaalla. Toinen siipi, se oli pilvien yläpuolella, toinen siipi kosketti kuusimetsän latvaa. Tuo lintu lentää suoraan siihen saunan pihalle. Laskeutuu siihen molempien siipien alla 1000 miestä, ei 10 000 miestä. Kaikinelliillä rautaset kypärät, rautaset hanskat, rautaset kengät. Ne astuu jonoon siihen saunan oven eteen. Ensimmäinen menee sinne potilaan luokse, ottaa kädellään sen nuolen ja sit käsikädessä ne alkaa vetää.
Not even they could get the arrow out. So the sorceress, she understood. I'll just have to do it myself. She dipped her fingers into snake blood. And then she took a stone in between her hands and she squeezed that stone until all the fat trickled out of it. And then her hands were ready. And so she found the arrow and she pulled it out.
She took the arrow. She called for 100 snakes. Snakes came. She made saddles for those snakes. And she rode with those snakes towards north. She had an arrow on top of her head and she was laughing. In the end, she came to the end of the world in the north. And there it was, Whirlpool, Turjankoski. A big pool. All the bodies, all the diseases, all the evil things were going around and round. Some half-eaten flesh, some half-eaten fish, some diseases, and they all looked up and they yelled. They asked the sorceress, please take us out, take us back. She was looking down, she was laughing, she had an arrow. She looked down and yelled, rautankova, 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 rautaraiska saatana, pidä itse kivut.
That arrow would never come back, and nor would it be missed by anyone.